Hi guys, welcome back again. My name is Daniel Sukula, founder of Be The Best. So guys, this is the second part to my last video in regards to me being removed from Be The Best. So guys, like I said, many of you will be wondering how this is possible and how it happened, as many of you have seen before how close me and Tunde was, So I'm just gonna explain how everything started, how Be The Best started, how the vision, how the idea all came about, so we can all kind of understand the full story of Be The Best. So many people in Bolton would know about Be The Best, as when I started the project, this is the first people who knew about it, because I was walking around the community of Bolton to share my ideas and to tell people about the project. But before we even get to that, before I decided to go into the community and to speak to young people, the idea came from the support my family received. As some of you know, and I'm sure we all heard it many times, that my family faced deportation around 2005. And during that moment, a lot of the community, people from all over the UK, came together to fight for my family to stay in this country. And we were granted asylum in 2008. So, and then after that, obviously, as a young man, I got myself into the wrong kind of friends, and I did certain things which wasn't good, there's quite a lot of stuff that I went through which kind of led me away from my dream, from my education, so I really surrounded myself with the wrong kind of people. Not everybody was bad, but the majority of the people that I was hanging around wasn't doing nothing really positive, so we didn't have the right role models, the right guidance. So this is why we kind of lost our way. So obviously, because of that, and because of what my family went through, and then also around 2015, I lost a very close friend of mine who was stabbed to death. And that is all the inspiration why I decided to do Be The Best. And that's how the idea came about, because I wanted to give back into the community, and I wanted to help young people to ensure they don't go through what I went through, and they don't make the mistakes that I made, so I wanted to help young people to be the best they can be. So this is how Be The Best came about. So when the idea came about, I wrote it down, I wrote my plan. So this is the first official and original document of Be The Best. So this was like my business plan, and this is what I wrote, and this is the document that I used to go about in the community to show young people, and then also to the people that I put into the team. So about the name Be The Best, how the name came about. So when I wrote down my ideas and my business plan on what I wanted to do and how I wanted to help young people, I spoke to my partner. She's the first person who I shared the idea with. So I told her, this is what I want to do, I'm really passionate about it, and this is my idea. And then I said I need a name. So we literally spent hours to try and come up with the name, and she's the one who helped me to come up with the name Be The Best. So she was the first person to ever find out about this, and the first person to read this document. So after this document was written and I've got the name, and then I was like, what I'm gonna do now, I need to go into the community and to tell people about my ideas, and to speak to young people to find out what they think about it, and to be honest, everyone who I shared this idea with, everyone was really keen, and everyone was happy that I wanted to do something like this. So, and then when I was going around, it wasn't just this, I also had another document, which is the petition. and as you can see, there is a lot of signatures on the paper, and all these signatures, so I've got quite a lot of them. I've got over 300 signatures from people in the community, and these documents that I have here, this is the first documents for Be The Best. So when I went into the community and the support that I received, and all the young people really wanted something like this, something different, and something that's led by somebody who looks like them, you know. And when I received all this support and I knew this was needed and I knew people wanted this, that is when I went back home and I was like, this is way bigger than me. The vision, you know, is bigger than me, and I can't do it alone. So I need to put a team together. So the first person I went to speak to was somebody who I grew up with, and he's called Vanny. So I went to Vanny's house and I showed him my idea, and I said, this is what I want to do, and I want you to help me with the project. So when I shared this idea with Vanny, he was really happy and he wanted to be part of it. So he was the second person to find out about Be The Best, and he was the first member of Be The Best. So after I discussed my idea with Vanny, and we still needed more team members. So then I spoke to another person called Christelle, and she was the second person to discuss about the idea with, and she was really happy with the idea as well. And then she referred another friend of hers called Rianne to be part of the project. So and obviously I started adding new members to the project, and we had our first meeting at Vanny's house. And then after, I needed to add other team members, so I called other people from other of my friends, some from the old church that I went to, Florida, and then Sibo, who we went to uni together, and they were the first members of Be The Best. And then we had our meetings, and then I went to Bolton CVS, who helped me in setting up the project and putting all the constitutions and putting everything together. And this is how Be The Best, this is the first members of Be The Best. So the idea, like I said, I started Be The Best around May 2015, and then around July, that is when I started getting team members involved, and then we carried on with the project. And around September, October time, and as part of the vision, I needed someone that can teach people how to dance, you know, because dance was a part of the vision. So I knew of somebody who does dance, but we never actually spoke before. But I knew him through a friend of mine, you know. And then when I sat down with my idea and I'm thinking like, who can I get, you know? So, and I remembered, oh, I know this guy called Tunde who does dance. So I literally walked to my house with my document in my hand, and I knocked on the door, and he opened the door and he allowed me to come into the house. And I sat down with Tunde and with this document, and I showed him, this is what I want to do, this is my vision, and I want to help young people, and as part of the vision I need somebody that does dance, and I know you do dance, and I would like you to be part of the project. And when I shared the idea with Tunde, he was really happy with the idea, and he said he always thought about something like this before, and he would like to be part of the project. So that is when Tunde got involved in the project. So when I got him involved in the project, like I said, it was around end of September time in 2015. And initially it was to be a dance coach, and I've got all the documents when I wrote everything for him to be a dance coach. And so I invited him to a meeting to meet the other team members, and his first meeting I think was around October or November. That was his first meeting with the team. So I introduced him to the other team members, and everyone met Tunde, and everyone introduced themselves, and then we discussed about the vision and what we're trying to do. And at the time, guys, we didn't officially register Be The Best, so we were still discussing what to do like what to register as, whether a charity or a CIC or a limited by guarantee or limited by shares. So there were all discussions still going on, you know what I mean? But obviously my vision, I wanted to do something a bit different. You know, my vision was for a community interest company, you know, something that all the profit that we make will go back into the community. And obviously we always had disagreement. As you know, when you could put a team together, there's always going to be disagreement, you know. But then we still carried on with the project, you know. And then obviously certain members left, you know, due to other commitments, and some we didn't share the same vision, so they left, and I was left with some of the other team members. So not everybody left. So, and then obviously I built a really good relationship with Tunde, you know, because I could see he had the passion, and I could see he believed in my vision and he supported my vision. So obviously we built a really good bond, and because of this bond, when I was putting the plans together on how the company is going to run, who's going to do what, and who's going to be registered, who's going to be a director, and who's going to be on the bank account, because of that bond that I had and the trust that I had with Tunde and the passion that he showed to me, I put him down as a director. So the main director was me, Florida, and then Tunde. And then for the bank account, I also put Tunde, I put me, and a girl called Charity. And like I said, the reason why I put him on these roles as a director and also in the bank was because of I trusted him, and I could see he had that passion for young people, you know. So that is how Tunde became a director, and that's how Tunde was in the Be The Best bank account. So obviously when it came to registering Be The Best, at the time it was around 2016, and obviously at that time I was living with my partner, but my name wasn't on the tenancy. And guys, to be honest, I didn't really want to register the Be The Best on that address, as it may affect, you know, other things, you know. And I did ask the other team members, and Tunde offered for his house to be used when we registering Be The Best, you know, which, you know, nobody forced him, you know. He happily offered for his house to be used for us to register Be The Best, you know, which we did. So we registered Be The Best at Tunde's address. And when the project was registered now, obviously the next steps was to open a bank account. So, and to open a bank account, me, Tunde and Charity were the signatories on the account. So we filled out the application and we sent it off. But obviously, unfortunately, the application was rejected. And the reason why the application was rejected was because of me. So my credit, like I said, my past wasn't the greatest. You know, there's certain things that I got myself involved, which wasn't great. And like I said, I didn't have the right role models and the right guidance. And this is why I wanted to do Be The Best, so young people don't make the mistakes that I did. So my credit wasn't great, and the bank refused it on that basis. So because of that, now we had to find another way to open the bank account. And obviously I spoke to the team and I said, if the only way we could get around it was to remove my name from the Be The Best company house. Once my name is removed, we can try again to open the bank account, and once we open the bank account, then we can put my name back on company house. And that's what we agreed. So guys, the second application now, there was just Charity and Tunde Olosupo, so just them two on the second application. And they completed the application, both Tunde and Charity completed the application, and the application was sent off. This is what I've always believed, the application was sent off. And the Be The Best bank account was open, and then later we put my name back on company house as a director. And then guys, I think 6 or 7 months later, when I looked onto Be The Best company house, you know, and I've seen Tunde's name as the person with significant control. You know, to be honest, I was a bit like, how is this possible? Like, when this is something that I created, and when we registered Be The Best, I was the main applicant. You know, my name was there as CEO and founder. On all the documents, it was my name first. So I was a bit unsure as to how his name was significant control. So when I called him and I asked him about it, and he wasn't sure about it, he never said anything. You know what I mean? So I initially thought maybe when we removed my name from Company House, it automatically added him as significant control. And I said that to him also, and he also acted like he didn't know how it happened. And so I always believed that's how he became person with significant control. And we always said we're gonna put my name back on it. You know, we're gonna put my name back on significant control down the line. So guys, that's how I found out Tunde was significant control. So we carried on with the project, and to be honest, like I said, I trusted him a lot, and I could never think of anything bad that he can do, you know, because I trusted him, you know, and that's the reason why he was a director, and that's the reason why I trusted him to be a signatory on the bank account, you know. So we carried on working, and then obviously the project started. You know, we've been working really hard, and we've been doing activities and everything, the football and everything has been going well, you know. So we've been working really good together. There's never been a reason for me to question his loyalty. As if you look on all my social media accounts, it's always been me and him, and everything we do, we've always been together. So we became more like brothers. You know what I mean? We speak about anything, and you know, that's how it was. So there was never any doubt that this was a true friendship, you know. But obviously the project started going on, and then down the line, one of the people that were helping us, we suggested to add an elder on the account of Be The Best. So it's not just me and him. So we're young. Maybe if we have an elder on the account, it might help us. So initially, guys, I spoke to my dad and explained it to my dad. I wanted to put him down as a director for Be The Best, but obviously my dad didn't really understand how this works, and he said no. You see, he didn't say no in a bad way, but obviously he didn't understand how all this company thing work. But I did explain to my dad, we're putting him down, it don't mean he's going to be like very active into the project like that, you know. But obviously he didn't understand it. So when I spoke to Tunde, he said his dad wouldn't mind, so he would speak to his dad. So he did speak to his dad, and then his dad was more than happy to be a director. But at the time when I spoke to Tunde about it, and I said to tell his dad, even though we're putting his name down as a director, it's not for him to be involved in any decision making or how the project runs. And I made that clear to Tunde, and I'm sure he should have made it clear to his dad as well. So that's how his dad became a director. So the project carried on, and everything has been fine. You know, we applied for funding. You know, we keep on doing what we do. You see what I mean? But our main ultimate goal was to get our own premises so we can be able to run more activities for young people. So over the years, that's what we've been working on, and finding places to do the project. So obviously, down the line now, one of the bid writers suggested that to diverse our board. Obviously it was just males, so maybe to add a female on the board. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, you know. And I spoke to Tunde about it, and when I mentioned that to him, straight away he came up like, oh, you can add my partner's sister, or my partner's mom, or my family, and this, that. Everything was all about his family, you know. And at that time, to be honest, guys, I was thinking, I paused for a little bit, and I'm thinking, he's already got his dad as a director. Why is it he's keep trying to push his family on the board? And then that would literally be just me, and then everyone on the board is his family members. So I said no, but obviously explaining, no, it's not like that, obviously, because they got English name, and it might help us when it comes to applying for funding. But I said no, my partner, she's Jamaican and she's got an English name, and it shouldn't be a problem. So that's what we discussed. And I said, obviously we need to update the secretary, because the secretary left a while back, but obviously we didn't update it yet. So and I said we need to update that, and then Tunde suggested, oh, we can add my partner's mom, and as she works, she's a manager for a housing association. It will be great if we can have her, because we might benefit from that relationship, you know. And to be honest, I didn't see anything wrong with that, because I thought anything to better be the best. That's what I want. That is what we want for Be the Best. So and then he said he's gonna speak to his partner's mom. Obviously we waited for time and we wasn't getting any response. And I said, Tunde, it's been a while, you know, and I think we could just add Diana, she's been with the project and she's been really supportive in terms of all the minutes, all the meetings that we have. She's the one that takes all the minutes, so it's only right to have her as a secretary. And we discussed that with Tunde, and that was the initial decision that we made, to have my partner down as a director and then Diana as a secretary. So guys, obviously I've never had the authentication code for Company House, and I've asked Tunde for the code several times, but he's always, you know, finding excuses not to never give me the code. You see what I mean? But I could never think that he was doing it in a bad way, you know what I mean? Because obviously I trusted the guy, you know, so I could never think anything like that. So and then it came for the time for him to add them as my partner as a director and Diana as a secretary. And at the day he did it, I received a notification on the email to confirm Shakira has been added as a director. Then another notification came, Diana has been added as a secretary. And then another notification came again, Nicola has been added as a director. And guys, I was literally sitting at home and I seen the notification, and I was like, what? This is not what me and Tunde discussed, you know. And I said to my partner, like, I didn't discuss this with Tunde, and he's gone and add his partner as a director. This is not what we discussed. Like, how has he done that, you know? So the next day when I seen Tunde, and I did ask him about it, and I said, bro, we didn't discuss you to add your partner as a director, you know. Like I said, Shakira and then Diana as a secretary, so I don't know why you've gone and added your partner as a director. And then he acted like, oh bro, I thought we discussed about it and this, that. And I was a bit like, no we didn't, you know, because we didn't discuss that. We already agreed to have Shakira as a director and Diana as a secretary. So I don't know where his partner came from. You know, he suggested it, but I did say no, you know, but he still went ahead and added her as a director, you know. But obviously, because he's got the code, I'm not able to go and just remove her. So, and because I could never see there was something wrong there, I still trusted him, so we still carried on, you know what I mean. But obviously his partner, she's never been involved in the project. The dad has never been involved in the project. They don't know how the project runs or what's Be the Best is all about, you know. But obviously she was still a director, and then it came, the project started going up, you know, everything started building up, and then we got a building. You know, the building was even before all of that. We got the building for like nearly 2 years now. And obviously the first building was, I founded the first building as well, and we literally before that was it. It took us a while to get that building, and when we finally got it, we needed to get change of use, and the change of use took a long time as well to get change of use. And to get a change of use was a battle, and obviously because Tunde's name was on the application for the change of use, and when it came to the day to go to the council chambers, because I believed he's been doing dance, so I believe the council knows about him, and we discussed and we said it would be better for him to go and speak in the council of chambers, and Tunde went on the chambers. I went along with him, and then we did manage to get the majority, and they gave us change of use. But obviously that application, that agreement fell through, you know. After so long of fighting, that agreement fell through, so we had to start again to look for a new building. And then I found the new building again, and I put a proposal to the landlord, and that is how we got the new building. And then obviously we used the skills. I used the skills from the last application, and we didn't have to pay for nobody to do the change of use for us this time. We could literally, I did it pretty much myself, and then I went through the application with Tunde, and then we submitted it. So that's how we got the second building, and that's how everything was done. So guys, like I was saying, and then the project started going up, and then the support, you know, the support from the community started growing, and then we got the media attention, the ITV, the BBC News, and you know, everyone started coming, you know. And the thing is, if you look at Be The Best, like I said, my story is what made Be The Best. You know, my family history in this country is what kind of inspired me to do Be The Best also. So when the ITV News or the BBC News come, you know, because of what my family went through, and if you knew about it, it went all over. So it was all over the TVs, the newspapers, and there were thousands of people marching for my family. So because of that, anytime the news, they come to me, they always want to relate it back to the history of my family. Like, look at how they came from, and look at what this family went through, and now look what Daniel is doing to give back to the community. So this is what always been the story for the media, and this is really what's kind of been giving us the exposure. And I always seen it as a benefit for Be The Best, because every time I get the opportunity to speak on the media, I always speak about what we're doing, and I always promote Be The Best, and more people get to know about Be The Best. You see, so it was always good publicity for Be The Best. And most of the times when the media contacted me, to be honest guys, they always wanted to interview me. But every of the interview, if you watched it, even the BBC one, obviously Tunde, I spoke when the BBC called me, and I did make sure and I asked the BBC that I would like Tunde to also speak. But obviously when they came on the day, they didn't speak. Tunde didn't get to speak, so it was just me. And the question that they asked me, obviously the interview was long, but it was very limited. And the second time, it was when the ITV contacted me, and they wanted me to go to the office, to the office in Manchester. And I literally said to them that I want other people to speak as well, and I want project manager to speak and young people to speak. You know, so they say, okay, in that case, you won't be able to come to the office with all the other young people and the project manager, as with the lockdown and the COVID-19, that won't be possible. So we'll have to come to you. So, and I always made sure to speak to Tunde, to always let him know when I speak to the news and speak to anything, and always let him know so he knows. And I told him, bro, ITV is gonna come and I want you to speak. So, and if we all watch the interviews, when ITV came, I spoke, Tunde spoke, and the young people spoke also. You know what I mean? So I didn't always want it to be about me, because for me it's all about giving other people the opportunity as well to say the story of Be The Best, and that's what it's always been about. So, and then there's still, you know what I mean, obviously the project's still getting a lot of exposure, we're still growing, you know. And then I was nominated for the Lions Heart, England Lion Heart, which the day that I received the call for the Lions Heart, it was me and Tunde, it was in my office, and literally every time I get a phone call, I always put it on loudspeaker, because I know that's my brother and I don't have to hide anything from him. So I put the phone on loudspeaker, and then it was Emily Heskey, and he said, Daniel, what's your last name, and I'm going to nominate you for something, but he didn't tell me what it was. And Tunde was there also, and he heard that, you know. And so I was nominated for the Lions Hearts, and out of 1,000 people I was selected as part of the 23 people. So I was selected out of that, and that is why England FA, they came to the centre to record and to do a video with Emily Heskey. So obviously when they came on the day, there was quite a lot going on, and Tunde had to go into a meeting in the morning, so my head was all over the places as well. So I spoke, and then the young people spoke, and Tunde didn't get to speak, but they did actually come just to speak to me about the Lion Heart. And then obviously they did the video, and couple of days after, before the day was even released, the FA contacted me. They said they want pictures or videos of young people, of the activities that we do, and then of when I started Be The Best. So, and I did write to England FA, and I've got the evidence for that as well, which you will all see. And in that email that I sent to them, and I said when I started Be The Best, and explaining how I started, and I also said I would like Tunde Olusopo to be also to be on the final video. I want his picture, so I sent his picture also, and I said how much he's been beside me, how much he's supporting me, and he's went through all the struggles with me, and I wanted him to be on the final video because I know he wasn't interviewed, you know, and you all will see that. And that email, that's what I sent to them, and they did reply back to say to me, "Oh Daniel, thank you, we can see that Tunde has played a good part in Be The Best, and we'll try to put him on the final video." So when the final video came out, obviously it's not me who controls what they do, and they edited it how they like, and then Tunde wasn't included in that video, which was nothing to do with me because I already told them to include him on that video, you see. But then everything was fine until a few weeks after that. When the video came out, I started getting some kind of vibe like something was wrong, you know, but I could not pinpoint exactly what it was until a status was posted on the Be The Best Instagram account when we reached 1,000 followers. So the status was posted by Diana, who was secretary at the time as well, and she posted the status on Insta stating thank you to everyone who's been supporting the project. And then also she said this began as a dream from our founder Daniel Sukula, who wanted to give back to the community. So that was the status that got us to where we are now. So when that status was posted, to be honest, I never seen anything wrong with that, you know, and because that's just facts. There was nothing in that status that you could argue with, you know. But obviously Tunde wasn't happy with that status, so he messaged me who posted that status, and I did reply back to say it was Diana, and he got in touch with Diana to ask her like to remove that status or to include his name next to mine. So which was all really strange, like what's going on, you know. There's never been any issue with anything like that before. So obviously Diana did let me know like what Tunde said about the status, and I messaged Tunde like what's wrong, like what's wrong with the status. So he said to give him a call, and then when I gave him a call, we spoke about it. The call wasn't pleasant, you know, and I did not expect the call to go like that. So when I got Tunde on the phone, and I'm like, I don't understand what's wrong with the status, and then Tunde said, when me and you created Be The Best, and I was like, what do you mean when me and you created Be The Best? When I created Be The Best, Tunde was not there, you know. I did everything by myself to create Be The Best, and then I got other team members involved later, and Tunde was one of the last members to join Be The Best. So what does it mean created Be The Best? Because what I remember is I wrote everything, I typed up all the ideas, and then I went around in the community to get all the support, and then once I got the support, that's when I put a team together, and then Tunde came after to be a dance coach, you know. So I was really surprised that he mentioned that we created Be The Best. So I told him no, and then he went on to say again that he could legally claim to be co-founder, and I said again, you cannot claim to be co-founder because you was not there when I created the project, you know. And everyone who knows about Be The Best would confirm that, and the team members who were there before him, they would confirm that, because none of them has ever claimed to be a co-founder, because they all clearly knew when they joined the Be The Best that Daniel was the founder and CEO of Be The Best. And from the beginning, Tunde knew that, and he, over the last couple of years, 5 years, he has never disputed that. You saw? So all of a sudden now, he wants to claim the co-founder, which was all a surprise to me, as we've never had any issues before. Me and him, we've been like brothers. We literally speak about everything, even to the point where I named the Be The Best Sports Hall in memory of his son, who passed away a few years, like last year, you know, and because of the respect and the love I had for Tunde, I wanted to honor him. And I could not think of a better way to honor him than to name the hall in memory of his son, which he knew about that also. So when he came to me on the phone going on about, oh, everything is all about Daniel this, all the newspapers, and you know, the BBC, the ITV news, and that's what's literally said on the phone, like everything is always about me, I'm getting all the recognition and everything. And that was literally, it was a big shock to me. I could not believe what I was hearing, because I know for a fact everything that I've been doing, or everything that we do it for Be The Best, and we do it for the young people. So when I get on the TV, you never see me speaking about, oh, I did this myself. I always say we, because I believe we as a team. So I'm representing Be The Best. You know, I'm not there to talk about the stuff that I do. I'm there to talk about what we do as a team. And that's how I always seen it, as a way of promoting Be The Best and getting publicity for Be The Best. But obviously Tunde saw it differently. You know, despite me getting him involved and, you know, and always telling people about him, and even if you look on some of the papers, you will see it's always been Tunde there, you see. But then all this problem came out over a status and over me getting all the recognitions and being on the paper, being on the news, being on the TV, you know, which is not for me. I don't do this for me. Everything I do it for the young people, for the passion that I have to create opportunities for young people. So, and then he carried on, and then he said, oh, do you think I work for you? And do you think you're my boss? And all this was really, it was a shock to me. I could not expect this from him, you know. So he said all these things to me, and then I asked him, like, where did this come from? You know, because this cannot just start randomly like that, you know. And obviously he said he did receive a call from an old friend of mine, and he's going to tell me when we meet up to have a meeting. And then when he said about the meeting, and I asked him, and I said, you know, I would like your partner to also come to the meeting, and my partner to also come to the meeting, so then there is witnesses, because I don't know what story he's been telling his family or he's been telling his friends about Be The Best. So I wanted somebody from his family to be there so they can listen to the real story of Be The Best, because clearly I've been keeping all my documents. As you see here, this is the first original document of Be The Best. So I keep all my papers on file, you know, and I've kept all of them. So, and that's the reason why I wanted somebody from his family to be there in the meeting. And when I mentioned his partner to be there, Tunde got really agitated and really like, why I don't get my partner involved in what I do, and I'm so disappointed that you want to get my partner involved. When you came to my house, she wasn't there, and this, that. And I said, and then I'm thinking in my head, wait a minute, this is the same guy who went behind my back to add his partner as a director to Be The Best. So what's he talking about that he don't get involved in his business when he went to put it down as a director without ever agreeing with me, you see? And then the call didn't really go well, and the next minute he was talking about like how, when he mentioned about the disappointment, and then I remembered, I'm like, you're talking about disappointment, you're not the only one that's disappointed. You've been running, because obviously he's been running dance classes in the center, private dance classes for kids. And to be honest guys, I even took my kids, I took my sisters to go to the dance classes because I believed these classes were for free, you know. And Tunde's been doing these private classes for a time. And then later I did saw one of the parents paying him money for the kids classes, and that is when I realized that this wasn't a free session. So he was actually charging for the classes, which he has never spoken to me or discussed it with me. So he was literally pocketing money in for his own private gain, and no, he never said nothing. So that didn't go into the project. And then when I said that to him over the phone, and then he was like, I didn't tell you about it, but I was putting £10 aside to the project. And I said, if you was putting £10 aside to the project, why is it you never told me that you was getting paid? You know? So I knew about I saw that he was getting paid, guys, but the only reason why I didn't confront him or spoke to him about it, because I always seen him as a brother, and I always believed he would tell me. So I said, I won't go and say to him or confront him about it now. I'll wait when the right time, when he comes to tell me, then I'll ask him. So because he brought out this dispute, and then he's talking about disappointment, and that is why I asked him that question, that you've been running dance classes and you never said nothing, you see. And then obviously we arranged the meeting, and the next day in the morning he messaged me and said, Daniel, I slept through it, and because you want our partners to be there, I don't want them to just come as our partners, I want them to come as directors. So I said, I didn't think about it then, but I said no problem, which means his dad will come as a director, and then his partner will come as a director, and that literally gives him the majority of the board, because he's got the majority, because it's just me and my partner, then he's got his dad, partner, and him. So there's 3 of them. So if it got to any voting, he could always outvote me. But then I said, it's not a problem, we can do that. So, and then during the meeting now, and I said to my partner, before the meeting, I said to my partner, I think now everything is coming to me now, and I start understanding everything. I start going way back and thinking about everything. Then I come to realize everything was kind of pre-planned, because there's no way this was just random. This has been pre-planned for a long time. So he's adding his partner as a director, that was all part of the plan, so he can have the majority of the board. So I said to my partner, when we go in the meeting, I'm going to speak about the history of Be The Best, which will explain everything on how the partner was added as a director and how the dad was added as a director. So on the day of the meeting now, and we started the meeting, there was me, my partner, and Diana the secretary, Tunde's partner, and then Tunde's dad. But the secretary, she don't have any voting rights, so it would just be the directors to vote, you know. And obviously we started the meeting, and then I said I'm gonna start to speak about the history of Be The Best. So when I started to speak about Be The Best, and I've got videos which you will all see. My plan, my proposal of what I wanted to do with the project. And I said I want to inspire young people so they don't have to go through what I went through. So with that day, we sat down, me and my partner, we went through trying to find the name for the project, because the idea was that, but then we needed the name for the project. Yeah.
Can I interrupt just 1 second, please?
Yeah.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, please. He said it's okay, yeah? He said yes.
Right. I was made to believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I was made to believe that this meeting today, Mr. Chair, correct me if I'm wrong, this meeting today is about nothing but Be The Best, CIC, and we are each one of us here in our own individual capacity as a director. Am I right so far?
Which we'll discuss further when we come through it. And this is why I said it's important. We can't jump to anything without knowing the full history of the project. You know, so it's important to understand the project before we can get to any point. And this is the reason why this meeting came across. You know, and Tunde would agree. This meeting came across due to a dispute, and this is why Tunde messaged me and said we need to speak further on Saturday, and this is why this meeting came across, and this is why I said it's important to go through the history, because that's what caused this meeting to come.
Right. The reason I was saying that, Daniel, because what I was going to refer to, it will, in our own individual right as a director, if it will be according to the board, if it will be best and professional to address each one as a director rather than any other synonym or title.
So not to cut you, not to cut you, but just to, at this point I was going to bring it later, but I'd rather clear that now. Okay. So obviously, Mr. Emmanuel, I respect you as Tunde's dad, and I respect Nicola, and I respect Shakira, and I respect Diana. You know, when me and Tunde, we spoke about adding you as a director, I'll be the best. Originally, I was going to add my dad, and Tunde can agree, but my dad wasn't too sure on how company things work, and Tunde suggested we can add your dad, only not to have any active involvement in any decision making or how to run the project.
The dad kept on trying to cut me to not speak about the history, and I was a bit really surprised, like why is he trying to cut me to speak about the history? And every time I'm trying to speak about it, he said to me, Daniel, I was led to believe that this meeting was to talk about the future of Be The Best and not about this what's going on. And I was like, this meeting, the reason why this meeting has happened in the first place is to do with the history of Be The Best. Because Tunde claims that me and him created Be The Best and that he's a co-founder, which I disagree, because he was not there, and everyone knows, even the other members that were there before him, they all know that Tunde was not there, you know, when I started Be The Best, and they were not there. So nobody could really claim the co-founder title or to claim that they created Be The Best with me, because I already had all my stuff written down, you see. And then, because the dad kept on trying to cut me, so I said, Mr. Emmanuel, I respect you as Tunde's dad, and I was saving this point for later, because you keep cutting me. I'm going to explain how you came to be a director. And I explained to him how initially it was supposed to be my dad, and my dad wasn't sure how these things work, and then Tunde said he referred his dad, so that's the reason why we put you down as a director. And I also said the only reason why we put you down as a director was because we needed an elder, but you don't have any involvement in how the project runs or in the decision making, which I explained that clear to Tunde. And I asked Tunde, I said, did me and you not speak about this? And he said, yes, I agree. And that's all on the video also. If anyone wants to see that, you'll be able to see that.
This meeting, I respect you as your name is down as a director, but Tunde can confirm from before, you only was added due to the purpose of having a senior on the accounts, and Shakira was added due to the purpose of having 2 females on the company house. So it wasn't nothing to do any involvement with the running of the project or any decision making. So you can ask Tunde and he can confirm that as well, which is all right. Is that not true or false, Tunde?
That is true.
So and then I said, okay, let me to carry on. But my partner reminded me about Tunde's partner, and then I said, when Nicola was added as a director, Tunde never spoke to me. He did that behind my back, you know. So that was not, it was never agreed that his partner can be a director. And I said that in front of everybody, but he couldn't say nothing, you know. And we carried on, and I carried on talking about Be The Best and how it started and how I got the team involved and everything else. And then later when everything carried on, and it got to the point about co-founder and this, that, and then Tunde started getting really agitated.
Daniel Sukula, CEO/founder.
From the beginning, it's always been like that.
From the beginning, before the 2015?
2015,
Since it started, it's always been like that. Even all the meetings, it's always been.
No, I'm interested in from the 2015 when it was registered.
So
when you came to Tunde,
when we had our meetings, the 25th of the 11th, 2015, all the roles was explained to all the teams that sat there, right? Everyone was there, everyone was there, and they had Daniel Sukula, CEO and founder, Tunde Olusupo, dance and performing arts, like I said that before, and Florida, advocacy, Tibo, computing and media, Vani, chair, Charity Justin, treasurer. So from the start, it's always been like
that was a little bit precarious, because it's a bit precarious because the
All the
CEO.
documents, everything has always been that.
Well, can I listen to this, guys? Co-founder is a term that exists to give equal credit to multiple people who start a business together.
We didn't start
A co-founder may be part of the vision of a startup from the get-go, or they may be brought on very early by the original founder, because they have skills on founder in lacking.
We agree. We understand that.
Now,
We understand the terminology of
what's
co-founder.
going to happen like that now is should we shut down be the best? Should we shut down be? What's going to happen is should we shut down be the best? Because that's what's going to happen.
No. We're not talking about that.
Okay,
Hello.
are you gonna say could we shut down be the best? That's not gonna happen.
Well, that's when there's a dispute. We're gonna speak to founders about this. We can have to shut it down.
To the solicitors and
No,
everything, bro.
We can have to shut it down.
No, because you guys you put in so much.
Who destroyed you? Are you destroyed?
Hello.
Let's calm down.
Hello.
Tunde.
Destroyed, bro. Let's go.
They told you it was a joint.
The meeting is closed.
No.
Forget the meeting is closed.
No.
The meeting is closed. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. I'm not. I see what you are.
No,
Let's leave it there.
And as for
From now on,
always been.
From now on, from now on, nothing. Wherever you plan.
Tunde.
We're not moving. This building will not run unless this nothing will run.
Told me that you didn't join.
Oh
It's
my
a joint
God.
document.
Can anybody hear? Hello.
Let's go.
Hello.
Let's go.
Wow.
Hello.
I mean, have I ever said that?
Always.
As a company. What company? I said let's always work together.
I've got proof. Let's go to the news.
You can go to the news.
Nicola.
Nothing will run here, by the way. Nothing will run this
Everyone knows the
company.
dream.
Nothing will run this company unless there's a nothing will run here.
Okay, did you say that clear? You say that clear. You say that clear. You want to shut down the company.
You don't want to move on. We're not going to move on.
This is
Simple as that. It's my dream as well. It's my dream.
Everybody should. This is what I'm saying, and you never shut it down. Who's that the problem?
Yes, I have to go.
Daniel.
As you will see in the video, he got really agitated and he got up, him and his partner got up and said if he's not going to get the title of co-founder, then Be The Best will need to shut down. That Be The Best is going to shut down. And the both got up really angry and agitated, and I sat down, my partner sat down with my papers, because during that meeting I brought down all my paperwork, all the evidence and everything that I literally do for Be The Best. I brought that down as evidence. So they got really angry, and obviously the dad now calmed Tunde and his partner, and I got them to sit down. So we carried on.
No, the reason why I'm saying no is that if for instance I've gone to someone and I've said that this is what I want to do, I really need you because you have the skills, you have everything I need, you have everything, blah 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 blah. I've told someone that, and I've expressed my feeling. They said, you know what, that's an amazing idea, I'm going to support you. At that moment, if someone really wanted to go 50-50 on me, they should have said, please, I'm coming in with you as 50-50. But because that wasn't agreed, that's the problem. That's why we're starting now. So it wasn't agreed at any point. Sorry, Mr. Camille, let me finish. It wasn't agreed at any point that someone's going to be a founder and co-founder. It was just founder. So therefore, that part already, the both of you, I'm going to say, Tunde, on your part, you've gone wrong. Because if you know you were going to put all of this thing so you can be co-founder, I'm really sorry. It should have been spoken earlier on, okay? But it wasn't. The matter of fact that it wasn't. So therefore, you're feeling that all my effort I've put in, I'm not being recognized for it. But I'm sorry, that wasn't made clear from the start. So now for you guys to move forward, you need to agree. You need to speak to Daniel.
Exactly.
I've put in everything and I want to go co-founder, and Daniel needs to say, okay, do I agree with that or not? This is where we stand, okay?
Yes.
We can be here and talk about the history, we can talk about it forever, but the thing is, the matter of fact that where it stands is that Daniel brought the idea to you, okay? And I know other people were there, yes and no. Daniel brought the idea to you. He didn't bring it to you for you to go 50. In his head, Daniel, in his head, he is 100% in charge, the founder. He didn't come to you. In your head, as you were helping, you were thinking you were going 50-50. Unfortunately, the only thing that's clear on paper is that Daniel is the founder. There is no co-founder.
We carried on with the talk, but even though we carried on, we could never reach any agreement. We could never reach any agreement, as I said, there's no way that he's going to get the title of co-founder with something that I created out of my own work, you know. So And the way how he came about it, even if I wanted to give him the title of co-founder, I would not give it to him. If he came, me and him, we've been like brothers before. If he came to me like a brother and spoke to me in a nice way, you know, and if it was nothing to do with the status, you know, then it would have been okay. But because of the way how he came, you know, and then I'm thinking all the hard work I've put for Be The Best, that was the reason why I was like, there's no way that he's going to get the co-founder title, because I created Be The Best by myself, you know, and like I said, my partner helped with the name, and then I got other team members after. So the dad kept on trying to battle for Tunde to try and get me to agree for Tunde to be a co-founder, and I still refused. You see, the meeting went on for nearly 5 hours and there was no an agreement, you know, and I would not agree to the demands because I know the work that I've put in Be The Best. So guys, and then near to the end, I asked him about the call that he received, and then he told me briefly. He said, oh, the person said Be The Best was supposed to be me and him, and that Daniel is using you and this, all that. But he said he would tell me when me and him meet one-to-one, he's gonna tell me more about the call, you know, and that was fine. And I asked him about the money, and then he said he didn't tell me, but he was planning to tell me, and he's been putting £10 aside every week. And he pulled out the money, and the money was just £50. But if you think about it, he's been running this way back, you know, since like July time. And so if we had to count it, it would be more than £50. So even that didn't add up, you see. And then we carried on anyway, and the meeting came to an end because there was no solution. And Tunde, like I said, he's been doing his dance classes every Sunday. So it got to the point and I said, no activity should be going in the center right now that doesn't involve any Be The Best young people, you see. And because of that, Tunde said, okay, if that's the case, then we're going to call on the directors to vote. You know, obviously he said that because he knew he's got a majority, but then because I already explained it that they didn't have any voting right, the secretary came and said, Tunde, none of us got any voting right, because as Daniel explained it before, and you did agree that none of these directors had any voting right, you see. So this is between you and Daniel to sort out.
Every Sunday I teach dance. I put £10. Even sometimes I only get £10.
That's not
Okay,
a problem, bro.
I put money here.
It's not a problem.
But what I'm saying is, what I'm going to tell the board right now is, if everybody here,
Father's already gone. I don't know where he disappeared.
no, it's here. It's here on my phone.
Right. Okay.
Right. If everybody agree with that, then I'm happy. If everybody agree for me to cancel my dance class tomorrow, that's fine. That's everybody's decision. If people feel like because if I cancel it tomorrow, it's gonna affect me financially. Okay. But if everybody happy for me to cancel it tomorrow, I'm happy for that. Okay. However, when we make our decision next week, I'm not gonna lie to you, that is gonna influence some changes that we're gonna put in place. Simple as that.
Which
Pardon?
is fine. Which is fine.
Okay. Can we now put a vote in place, please?
I thought we don't have any voting power.
But we're gonna have to in this place.
This is what I mean. We can't change. We can't change things after what we agreed on before.
Can you hear me?
Well, unfortunately, that has to be between you and Daniel, because I don't have any voting power. So
You
I
don't have
can't vote
one,
on something I have no power in.
So because he told me about the young people and how it will be too late to cancel it and how it's going to affect him financially, that is one of the reasons why I was like, okay, for this time you can do it, but we have to wait until this thing is sorted. So and then guys, we arranged to another meeting for me and him, which we met the following Monday. So on the Monday, me and Tunde met, we sat down and we started speaking, and to be honest, he came with a different angle. So he came like literally apologetic, like I'm so sorry for what happened on Saturday, and I was really angry, and everything that came out, I didn't mean it. So he came in a way where I could start to feel sorry for him, you know. But to be honest guys, the way how everything came, I could not believe that person. I could not believe that he could ever come to me like that. So despite him apologizing and saying this and saying that, I knew already that this guy had a bad agenda. you know, from the way how everything came, you could see something was not right. So and then we carried on talking anyway, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. We carried on talking, and then it got to a point about the call, and then because every meeting I've been recording it, so I've got a recording of everything. So but when it got to the point to tell me about the call he received from an old friend of mine 2 months ago, he said he's gonna cannot stop the recording, and also what he's going to tell me now, he don't want me to speak about it or to tell anybody about it, as that guy he's known and I'm known also, and he wants me to shake hands, and we both shook hands, and he said to me to never speak about it, but I didn't know it was going to be that deep. And then he told me what that friend said, and he told me the name, and like I said, I've told him about this friend before, and that me and that friend we don't have a good relationship, you know, and I told him that, so he knew about this friend that called him, and like I was saying, nobody should be comfortable to call him to say anything bad about me, just like no one should be comfortable to call me to say anything about him. But that person was comfortable enough to call him to say all these things, Daniel is using you and this, that, and the person went further to say that they got people out in Bolton that they're going to kill me, you know, and that was a big surprise to me, you know, for somebody to call him to go as far as to say that they're gonna kill me, and that call was 2 months ago, you see. So 2 months ago, and he knew about this call 2 months ago, and I see him every day, we speak every day, and not once he mentioned to me that he received a call from that person to make a threat to my life, you know. So I asked him why he didn't tell me, and he said because obviously he didn't want to worry me, and he prayed, and you know, it was just too much for me, you know. It was too much. My life, once my life is under threat, that means my whole family, and I've got kids. So the fact that he knew about it and he didn't tell me, that was already another signal. So that was something like there's something really wrong here, why he would go 2 months not to tell me about that call. So guys, we carried on talking, and then later he got to the point, and I said to him, because of everything happened, and then my trust was literally broken. So the trust is broken, I cannot trust this person anymore, you know, and the only way is for us to go separate ways. So, and honestly guys, we have to go separate ways, because there's no way I could trust this person ever again, because I trusted him with my life, you see, and I trusted him so much that even with the best bank account, with a lot of things, I would never check it, because I know, oh, this is my brother, he would not do me wrong, you know, and I've never had any reason to think otherwise. So I said we have to go our separate ways. It was really hard, and this is not something I ever expected I would be saying, but it had to be done. So obviously when I said that to him, he said obviously if we gonna go separate ways, that means we need to look at ways how to dissolve Be The Best. So this is the second time he said that again, and I said Be The Best is not going to close down, you know, whether I'm in it or you're not in it, or you're not in it or I'm not in it, that Be The Best will still be here, because it's for the young people and it's for the community, you know, and you didn't start it and you're not going to close it, you see. And obviously I said to him, and he needs to give me time to think about it, because I don't want to make any decision that is going to affect the community or the young people. And we agreed. So he said he's going to give me time, and he also did speak to my dad after, and they had a chat with my dad, and they discussed stuff with my dad also. And I still wanted my parents, everyone, my mom, everyone spoke to me and said like I need to think about it and not to make any decision harshly, and to have time to think about it. And guys, I did have time to think about it, and I could still not get my head around everything, like how could this person do this to me, you see, and how could this person receive a call about a threat to my life and he didn't tell me, and how I find, you know. So, and I said to him, Well, because of that, I need time to think about it, guys. So I had my time and I thought about it. And Tunde kept on calling me, calling my parents to try and get me to make a quick decision. And I did make it clear to him, if I make a decision now, it's not going to be something he wants to hear. And it's not going to be a decision that might not be best for the project or the community. So I need to get an external person to get involved. So that is when I made a phone call to somebody from Bolton CVS who helped us both, you know, and he knew Tunde and he knew me very well. So he played a mediator. He played a mediator between us three, me and Tunde. So he's made one-to-one meetings with Tunde and one-to-one meetings with me to speak to us and to find out exactly what was going on. And to be honest, guy, all he wanted was to try and get a solution to get us to work together. So, and that's what he wanted. So, and then we got to the point now to have a three-way meeting. So it's me, Tunde, and the mediator. And during that meeting, I said my part, Tunde said his part, and then obviously we both said what we had to say, you know. And I asked him questions from the previous meetings on that day now in front of the mediator. So I asked him about the calls and the significant control. And like I said, on the last meeting that we had as all of us, he did say that there was too significant control, and then he removed me from significant control, and he said it loud and clear, and that's on the video, which you would also see.
Significant control wasn't just your name, sorry. It was my name and your name before.
No, it wasn't.
I've got proof of that. I'll show you. I've got proof of that. Sorry, I'll show you that. Yes, I've got a screenshot. Significant control was my name and Daniel's name. Okay, because I registered the company's house account online. I did it, and I put my name and I put Daniel's name on the significant control.
So
Later on, I removed your name.
No.
Later on, I removed Daniel on the significant control. There was two of us. I removed him.
You removed me.
I removed you.
You see, so during that meeting, I asked him about it, you know, and you know, he could not give me a straight answer. So everything that I asked, he was just going around it, you see. And then obviously, after the first mediation finished, I had to make phone calls to find out exactly what was going on. So I made a phone call to the company house, and the company house explained it to me that when we registered Be the Best, there was no significant control. And then sometimes in 2016 or some 26, as the person said maybe 2017, but then later Tunde confirmed it was 2016, that Tunde went onto company house and added himself as the person with significant control. And the crazy thing is, he never spoke to me about it, and I never agreed for him to be a person with significant control. And over the years, guys, I've asked him about it, and he always pretended like he didn't know how it happened, you see. So until I called company house and they confirmed that he added himself as person with significant control, you see. So that was another thing which I could not believe, and I was in shock. Like, he's been lying to me all these years, you see. And then the next thing was with the bank account. Obviously, I said that we had the first problem with the bank account, how it was rejected, and then the second application, which there were Charity and Tunde. And with the second bank account, Tunde claims during the mediation that he is a guarantor for Be the Best, which I disagreed, because we never took out a loan. It was a business account, and then because he kept on claiming that he was the only person on the account, and that was not how the bank account was open, because I believe there was two people, which was Charity and Tunde. So obviously Tunde said no, it wasn't like that. So after this mediation, I was able to call Charity to find out, and she did confirm that her name was on the second application for Be the Best bank account. So Tunde, you know when we opened the Be the Best bank account, right?
Yes.
Was Charity, did Charity not fill out any applications for the bank account?
No, she did not.
She did not?
She did not. What the bank did, the Employees Bank, which I've got, again, that's part of what we can speak to the bank about for them to also tell you as well. The bank did.
Yeah.
Yeah. the bank actually did a credit search on Charity. This is the part I didn't want to disclose. I believe I mentioned that to you, but I didn't tell Charity this.
You never mentioned that to me.
Bear with me, please. The reason why I didn't tell Charity this is because I don't want Charity to feel bad about herself, that the bank could not give, the Lloyds Bank couldn't give us anything with the Charity's credit. However, at the time, we suggested my partner Nicola to be part of it. At that time, then I said we can't use Nicola because during that time is the time that we're trying to get a new car for Nicola. That's when she bought a car. Okay, that's during the time she bought a car, and that's why we couldn't put my name on it.
So the application.
However, Lloyds Bank, I believe you might not believe what I'm saying now. Maybe what would be the best is Lloyds Bank to speak for themselves. But then the only issue here is I don't want to expose Be the Best bank account. So we need to construct what sort of question we ask the bank. Because what I don't want is I don't want the bank to put the eye on the thing because of your name and things like that. Okay? That's my worry right now.
So this is what I'm saying, Adrian, and this is where we're going wrong. Because if you say, because I know Charity, I've spoken to Charity, and she said clearly she was, when we completed the application form for Lloyds Bank, her name was there and she signed it for the bank account. And also, let me finish. So also when we spoke, there's never been a discussion where you said to us, or you've gone to open the bank separately by yourself. And the bank account wasn't linked to, we never discussed the bank account to be linked to your own business account, to your own personal account. We thought it was going to be a standalone, Be the Best bank account. Only until after. And Charity herself can even speak, and she said there was that discussion was never brought forward about a guarantor and about you, about the bank account being linked to your own personal account.
Just let Daniel continue.
And all this is why I'm saying there's a lot that's been hidden that I didn't know about. Because if you claim me and you spoke and we agreed on the significant control, and we both know clearly, and I know from the bottom of your heart, we've never discussed about the significant control. We discussed about me coming off as a director, and I clearly remember that. So even when you put yourself as significant control, that discussion has never been brought. We've never discussed that. So this is what I'm saying. Some of the things you're saying, and it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. So why would you go ahead and open a bank account solely with your name and not a link to because Charity is signing the papers? You would have told us, Charity, this failed because of Charity, or this, that. This was never discussed. None of this stuff was ever discussed. So you went ahead to open it by yourself and it linked it to your own personal account. Because if you didn't, then it would have been a standalone Be the Best.
And she's not sure as to how Tunde is saying that it was only him, unless the second application wasn't submitted, you see. So, and then when we had another mediation, and I asked Tunde about it, and he paused, he said he didn't tell us, he didn't tell me, but the second application was also rejected. And guys, that is the first time I'm finding out the Be the Best bank second bank account was rejected. And I said, why he didn't tell me? And he said he didn't tell me, but he just didn't want to tell me, and he didn't tell the Charity as well. And I asked him why was the bank account rejected, and then he said, because of Charity credit. And to be honest, guys, at the time Charity was working as an accountant for a different company, and we all know, for you to be an accountant you need to have good credit. And she had a current bank account with Lloyd, so there was not any reason for that bank account to be rejected. So it was very clear that he didn't submit the application. As he said, once the account was rejected, then he went and opened the Be the Best bank account by himself. You see, and that was the first time I found out about the bank account. Like I said, I trusted him so much, I didn't look too deeply into other things until now. During the mediation, a lot of things came out, So, and the final day we had the about the call. He denied the call during the mediation. He said he didn't say anything about the killing, and he's denied all of that, you know, and which I was very surprised that he denied it, because I clearly remember everything he said, and I wrote it down after the meeting, what was said.
So when his ex-friend, when he rang me 2 months ago, there's nothing about threats to life, nothing about that.
Like about the threat, I'm really surprised. Like I can't believe it myself, to be honest. So I don't know how long we're gonna keep on talking about this, but like I said, I've spoken to the police about this matter, and police, they have been to my house, and like I said, any threat or anything about my family, I take it very seriously. And the fact that I know what was said that day, and now all of a sudden this wasn't said, it's one of the reasons why I'm just like you know, I'm just shocked, you know. But
okay,
we'll leave it to God.
Okay. Yeah. So, quick one for that one, okay? Before we move on to the next one, I'm happy that he said he's spoken to the police about the threat, okay? I've had a chat as well with unrecorded chat with the police, okay, just to make sure I'm safe myself, because I was, if Daniel is in danger for any things like that, because I know that will obviously affect me and my family as well. Obviously the police I'm still expecting, what I've been told is, if it's been reported from Daniel's side, I've been told that the police will likely contact me if it's been reported, they will likely contact me, because my name will come part of it. So I'm looking forward to that moment, and I'm waiting to, I will be.
You know, and he denied all of that. So we carried on with the meeting anyway, and we arranged for another mediation. And this time now, it was the final mediation. And during that moment, I was able to also get the authentication code for Company House. Like I said, I've been asking Sunday for the code for a very long time, but it would not give me a code. But because of the COVID-19, I was able to order a code directly to my house. And also, before I even ordered the code, over the years, I've been asking Tunde to update the Be The Best address from his house to the building, but he's always finding excuses not to do it. And he said to me clearly, oh, you can't do it online, it's a long process, you need to print out an application. Obviously, all this time, this guy was lying to me, you see. So when I managed to get the code, I was able to go into Company House to change the address to the building, to remove his partner as a director, because that was never spoken or agreed. And then I removed him as significant control, because all this stuff was not agreed or spoken, you see. And then during the final mediation now, the mediator guy said he's going to conclude and he's going to close so he can come out from this mediation, so me and Tunde, we can finish it now. So, and then he made his own investigation, and from speaking to me and Tunde, he was able to come to a conclusion.
Deeper fundamental issues that I think show that at the stage where Be The Best is right now, it's a stage where it has grown, but it needs to move forward on a different footing. So I want to address what I think. So I think that we could spend a long time trying to find that elusive thing, Tundi, that you referred to as the third person in the conversation, which is the truth. So I think that we could spend forever saying, well, I said this, and the other party saying, no, you didn't, etc. And I think I'm not going to here to say somebody's saying the truth, somebody isn't telling the truth, but clearly I have no confidence that we'll find it between the two of you at this particular time, that there will remain a disagreement with what has been said and who said it and why they said it, and that fundamentally will continue to undermine trust, and that's broken as a result, I think, of some of the conversations and some of the kind of things that you've been delving into. So what I do think, guys, and this is what I would say, that when I've looked into it and when I've actually asked two other people about Be The Best, so those other people being Helen Tomlinson, who was around at the beginning of Be the Best, and Saeed Acha, who is a Bolton person who obviously has very much a finger on the pulse in terms of Bolton. We know who I'm talking about, don't we? Saeed, our Deputy Lieutenant, yeah. So somebody who kind of feels the pulse of Bolton and sees what it is. I think what is clear is that Be the Best was clearly Daniel's vision. That he founded Be the Best. So it was out of his head and out of his heart that this began. I honestly don't think anybody could or should dispute that. I don't think you are, Tunde, are you? That actually this began with Daniel in his head and in his heart. He wrote a founding document, and that made it clear what the direction was, how it would begin to work, what the kind of vision for the future was. And I don't think anybody, well, I think very few people in Bolton would disagree with that they would associate the founding of it with Daniel, that was his, and it was his vision. And what is clear, and I think everybody else would be very clear also, that Daniel has gone on to demonstrate through the development of Be the Best that is something that he has continued to build and continued to work out that vision. Yeah, that as the founder and also as the leader of that vision, I think it's pretty indisputable that has been Daniel's way of life. That's what he has done. And I think people in Bolton, certainly Helen and Saeed, and that's only two people, but the third person, if you look at me and my involvement, when I've been involved with you, that's the kind of way that I've seen it as well. And I don't think that his title as founder and chief exec, I think it's been there from the beginning. It's been there now for 5 years. Are we talking 5 years? Is that the sort of length of time?
Yeah,
5 years. Yeah. So give or take, it's around 5 years that has been the way it has been. That he is founder and chief exec. Now that is more than a title. That is really quite clear. That it is more than just something that Daniel can stick on the end of an email signature. It is actually demonstrated in the way that he leads, in the way that the young people see that. Now, just remember, this is me, this is my observation, but I don't think it's been disputed. And as far as I can see, it hasn't been questioned until quite recently. And certainly in our conversations, that has been questioned as whether Daniel is a self-acclaimed chief exec, or is he the right person to be chief exec? Has he got the right skills, etc., to be chief exec? I come back and I go, well, he is the founder and the chief exec, and he has demonstrated that he does have both the skills and the abilities to continue in that particular role. So Tunde, what I would say is you may well feel that you technically have a right to be called a co-founder, but I honestly, Tunde, don't think that you have morally got the right to see yourself as a co-founder. Tunde, it's absolutely undisputable that you have been absolutely key to the growth and development and the success of Be the Best. But as I've seen it and as I've heard,
that the dispute of me being founder and CEO, Tunde cannot dispute that. It is clear that Daniel is the founder and the CEO of Be the Best, and Daniel has been leading Be the Best till now. And it is clear also from speaking to other leaders in Bolton that Daniel has been the driving force behind Be the Best. And it was also confirmed that Tunde cannot claim the title, he cannot morally claim the title of co-founder, as Be the Best was created, the vision began with Daniel, and he was not there. You see, And secondly, it was clear that he's not willing to accept me as a leader, so the working relationship between me and Tunde would not work. Thirdly, it was confirmed that our trust is broken beyond repair, as during this dispute, a lot has come to the surface which we didn't know about. So a lot of stuff was hidden which we didn't know about due to me being blinded and trusting him so much, you see. And it was decided that Tunde needs to step down from Be The Best and to allow me to carry on with the vision. And they did make it clear to him that they will help him if he steps down peacefully, but if not, then it's going to be really difficult for them to help him, you know. And he did refuse, he disagreed, he said he's not going to step down, and that Daniel is, why not Daniel to step down and to leave Be The Best to him, and that Daniel is not the founder and Daniel is not the CEO, and what he's going to do now, he's going to follow the Article of Association, which is like the rule book. And to follow that means he's going to call for an emergency directors meeting, and which means his partner needs to be added back as a director. And I said that's not going to happen, not knowing he already managed to get the code. So after the mediation finished, an hour later, on Company House, he went back on Company House, changed the building address back to his house, changed my home address and my partner's home address to his house, add his partner back as a director, and then add himself back as significant control, but this time he's added more powers. So, and he added that he owns over 25% ownership of Be The Best and over 25% shares of Be The Best. If any of you can go into Company House now and go on significant control, you would see all the changes. So he gave him powers to remove directors and all this. And guys, Be The Best is a community interest company limited by guarantee. We don't have any shares, but Tunde was able to put shares, that he owns shares of the company, which none of it makes any sense. So, and then he called for an emergency directors meeting, which I refused to attend, because once I saw all the changes that he made, I reported it to Company House and I reported it to the CIC regulators. And I did reply back to say I will not be attending any meeting until I hear back from Company House and the CIC regulators. Because he's got the majority of the board, he said the meeting will carry on, as the majority have said yes. So regardless I attend or regardless my partner attend or not, the meeting will go ahead. So they went ahead with that meeting, and then during that meeting they made decisions. So Daniel needs to stop referring himself as CEO and founder of Be The Best immediately. Daniel needs to give them access to all the Be The Best documents, including the emails and the social media accounts, which are changed because of everything, you know. So I need to give them access to all my vision, all my work, all the programs that I've written over the years. I need to give them access to that. And like I said, guys, I never really spoke about the work that I do, but the majority of Be The Best work, all the programs, all the activities, all the external relationships, everything was built by me. You know, the support by the police and everything is literally my work. And I never spoke about it because I always seen we. Because the way that this dispute started, I had to tell people of what I've done. You know, so I have sacrificed a lot of time into Be The Best. Half of 5 years of Be The Best, I was not working just to focus on building Be The Best. You know, and I put so much, and for now a board of directors which is led by his partner and dad, who have never been involved in the project, now to decide on what I should do with Be The Best. So I refused to give them any of the documents. I didn't respond to the email, and they gave me a deadline. If I don't meet this deadline, then they're going to decide on my future with Be The Best. So the deadline came. I didn't stop referring myself as CEO or founder. I didn't give them any access to the documents or the email, and I didn't stop posting on the social media accounts. So because of that, they arranged another meeting to review the instructions that they gave to me. And then during that meeting, they were able, during that meeting I also found out that we could not see the Be The Best bank accounts anymore. So he removed the online access to Be The Best bank account. So as my partner is a signatory, we were able to call the bank to explain to them what's happened. And the bank said because of this dispute, they're going to freeze the accounts. Not knowing, Tunde gave himself full access to Be The Best bank account, so he could literally go and unblock the bank account. So then that was one of the instructions, that my Shakira should not communicate with the bank anymore. So, and we didn't stop none of that. So the meeting that they had again, that is when they decided, because I didn't respect or meet the deadline or did everything they asked me to do, they voted me out, and including my partner, from Be The Best, and then I was removed from the company house. And the instruction that they gave, as I've been removed from Be The Best, I should not attend the building. If I come to the building, I would be trespassing and they'll report it. And then they gave me a deadline to the 4th of November to give them all my documents, and return all the Be The Best properties. And if I don't do, and then I should stop referring myself, I should stop representing Be The Best. And that was the decision. So this is where we are now, and this is why I have to let the community know, because nobody knew about this over the last 2 months as I've been trying finding other ways to try and solve this. But because this is out of my control now, and as we stand, I don't have any access to the building. All my stuff, all my equipment, most of it is still locked in the building, and I'm still continuing to support young people, and I'm still running activities with my own money, and I'm still taking young people on trips. And like I said, Be The Best is within me, and I'm not going to allow people who was not there when I started it to come and take over my dream. Over the years, I've developed a lot of programs, all the activities for young people, all the external relationship with the police, council, even achieving the Bolton Mark. I was the one who did most of this work. And also in recruiting young people for activities, or organizing trips and everything, I was the one behind all of this stuff, you know, and including the fundings. You know, I literally complete all the fundings. If I don't complete the fundings, then we either pay a bid writer who would write the bids, and also even when she writes, I will still have to give her information for her to be able to complete the funding bid. So all the fundings, most of it is completed by me or the bid writer. And also, when we are applying for the fundings, we always have to put 2 people on the application. So it's always me and Sunday. Even I apply for the fundings, I would always put, sometimes I'll put Sunday as the main applicant, and then I'll put myself as second applicant. And the only reason for that was as I was worried about my credit. But obviously, after I came to realize that everything was fine, so I started putting, sometimes I'll put my name as the main applicant and I would mix it up, and there never been any issue. So I can confirm that I'm the one that's pretty much been doing all the Be The Best work. I'm not saying Tunde has never contributed or helped to Be The Best. I have never said that. I always appreciated his support and appreciate everything that he's done for Be The Best. That is one of the reasons why I wanted to honor him by naming the Be The Best Sports Hall in memory of his son, as he's been beside me and he's supported and he's contributed. But in terms of making Be The Best what it is today, the majority of the work is all mine, you know, and this is the reason why they've been asking for me to give all my documents and all my funding tracker, because they know it's all my work and it's all been written by me, and it's got my name and it's got dates on it. Yeah, just to finish, guys, I would like to confirm that I have officially been removed from Be The Best, and as of now the building is being managed by Tunde, so I don't have any access to the building, and the bank account is all being managed by Tunde. So all the funding and all the money is all being managed by Tunde. Guys, I was able to call the bank with my partner, and we recorded the call also, which came as a surprise, as she received a text message from the bank about a new mandate has been completed. So we were eager to find out. So when we called the bank and we asked them about a new mandate, and the bank explained it to us that the new mandate is there was a person called Malcolm Everand who was a signature in their account.
Malcolm Everand, is that correct?
Sorry?
To remove Malcolm, is that correct?
To remove Malcolm, there's no Malcolm should be on the account. The only two person that was on the account was Tunde Olusopu and Shakira McLean. But due to how he had set the bank account up, he given himself basically full control, which he wasn't supposed to do. And then put myself as basically with limited control. So this is why we've got all these disputes going on. And then he was supposed to be removed.
Looking at here, the mandate I can see it as mandate variation removed Mr. Malcolm Everard.
No.
And that was what was completed.
Is that on the Be the Best account?
1 minute. Sorry, is that on the Be the Best account?
That's correct.
And that person has been removed from the Be the Best bank account. And when the person said Malcolm Everand, I was surprised. Even my partner was surprised because we have never heard of Malcolm Everand before. That person has never been involved in the project before. So it was very new to hear somebody call Malcolm Everand on the Be the Best bank account. You know, and that person has never worked for Be the Best. So I've got all of that in recording, which you're all gonna hear, and which all just shows to me that there were a lot of stuff that was hidden that I didn't know. So guys, this is my story and this is what's happened, and I wanted to let the community know, because the community have always been behind me, the young people have always supported me, and I wanted you all to know and that I'm no longer part of the Be the Best structure right now. Be the Best is still inside of me, and I'm still going to fight for Be the Best, and I'm still going to fight for what's right. And what's right for me, what they have done, they've done it illegally, they've removed me wrongfully, and I will fight to get Be the Best back, and we'll fight for the community and fight for the young people. Thank you guys for your time, and if you got any questions or you would like to ask me anything or you would like to see any of the paperwork, so everything that I've said, I've got all of this on recording, and I've got all the paperwork, all the evidence. So for anyone that didn't know and you would like to meet me or you would like any of these copies, let me know and I will be more than happy to show you the evidence. So thank you guys, God bless you all, and the vision still continues. I'm not gonna give up. The passion that I have, I will continue supporting the young people and continue being the voice for young people in Bolton. Thank you guys.
Working with Daniel, we can reach groups that perhaps ordinarily wouldn't listen to police as much, but by working with Daniel, we have a really good impact on local people.
Daniel has been an incredible role model for the youth. He is hardworking, he's inspiring, and he provides young people like me with endless opportunities that help us grow as people and help us strive to be the best we can be. I know for a fact there is a bright future ahead of him.
Daniel is an amazing person that is really inspiring for us young people, as he puts in the work day in and day out to help young people around Greater Manchester area to achieve their dreams and goals. He's amazing. I think he strongly deserves this award for the time and the work that he puts in every day.
I was glad to hear that Daniel is a finalist for the National Diversity Award. He deserves to win it because he is selfless and such a great role model for our young people in the community. Daniel is always ensuring that people are motivated. He leads by example, so he inspires us to become the best we can be. And Daniel is a great individual who always tries to do the best by others. He has been great in providing lots and lots of activities for young people through Be The Best. So we are so proud of Daniel and can only be pleased and excited to see what the future holds for him.
Hey Daniel, congratulations on the NDA Awards. Couldn't have gone to a better person to be nominated for it. Keep up the good work, mate. You're doing absolutely outstanding and a real special job in the community with the kids and the adults. I hope everything goes your way on the night. Absolutely brilliant, mate. Keep it up. Big hits, big results. Take care.
I keep telling young people our project is called Be The Best. Like around our community, there's not enough role models. And we want to be able to change that with this project and create more leaders.